Hello everybody, welcome back to more Fire Emblem 4, Genealogy of the Holy War. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. Right before the stream started, I sent everybody into this castle, and I repaired all of their items, and then I sent them back out. But other than that, you haven't really missed anything, aside from whatever happened at the end of the last stream. So I'm going to be getting pretty much right into it today. I have to send my units all the way across this desert. I thought maybe I should do that off stream too, but you know what? If you're here to watch a genealogy stream, then you are here to watch characters slowly move across a desert for 10 turns. So that's what we're going to be doing. I also have to go ahead and get rid of these mages, I guess. I don't think there's any reason why I have to, but there's also no reason why I shouldn't. So I'm going to start working on that right now. Let me go ahead and post my stream links before I go any further, just because I'm getting right into it today. Don't really have very much to chat about. Rather focus on gameplay today. Gameplay over chatting. Post my links here. Post my links here. And I'm going to make it so that I don't get any Discord notifications while I'm streaming. Alright. I also did this too. I put Erin in this position where I can move her and then dance for her, but I think, I still don't reach the enemy anyway. Maybe I could do it if I had a javelin equipped. I'm not sure. In fact, I would actually probably rather stand here. Let's see what happens. There's a chance that he might move forward and try to hit me with Hellfire. I'm not sure. While Erin is doing that, I'm going to send the rest of my units this way. In fact, let me make sure I don't range of any enemies. It doesn't seem to be the case. And as we learned last time, there doesn't appear to be any kind of desert movement or anything like that. Sorry, there doesn't appear to be any fast movement for mages across the desert. Seems like Lewin just moves just as slow as everyone else. So this is really going to take a while. I don't understand why they included this. Maybe there's a different way. Is there like a different path I'm supposed to be taking? I do not know. I did not see any other path other than this one. Yeah, I mean, no matter which way I go, it seems like there's just a bunch of desert tiles. So, we'll see what happens. I'm getting right into it now. Okay, looks like he's using Meteor, which is good. That's actually what I want. Pretty sure I'm more or less guaranteed to dodge it, although I guess I don't know for sure. I also don't know how much damage it does. Alright, so if I go here... I can move forward and attack. I'll deal 27 damage twice, that should be enough to kill. I can't tell if they counter with Hellfire or if they're not countering because of one of my skills. Honestly, I can never really tell with this game. Either way, I'll move closer to this mage, I'll kill him on the next turn, and then I'll come back to deal with the other mages. And I guess for the time being, we're going to be going 2 tiles at a time across this desert. I'm going to see about potentially having my 2-range fighters maybe draw out some of these archers, whether archers or mages. Yeah, I might be able to draw these mages out and fight them over the cliffside. That might help a little bit. I don't know if it'll speed up things immediately, but it might speed up things in the long term. Go here. Alright. And I have to check to see what level Erin is, because she actually might be ready to promote. I think I was supposed to promote her, but I forgot to do that. Let me check. I did stand in range of that meteor, but it's fine. Just an opportunity for some free healing, I guess. Some staff experience. Hello, Mirror Fanboy. Thank you for being here today. Sorry for being late. No worries at all. This is, I do not expect to get very many views. I do not expect a very active chat when I'm streaming Fire Emblem 4. Historically, this has not been my most popular series, but I enjoy playing it, so I'm just going to keep playing it anyway. How are you doing today? Is everything well in the world of Mirror Fanboy? Alright, so if I move here... Hold on a second, I want to see exactly how far these mages reach. Looks like nothing is reaching me right now. here. And then I should be able to go heal. Yes, okay, so I can heal. We're kind of just slowly taking our time moving across this desert. It's just, you know, the classic Fire Emblem 4 experience. Oh my god, I'm so slow. You're doing good? That is great to hear. I'm doing good as well. Had a great week this week. Alright, so our goal right now is to have Aaron come back and start dealing with the other mages, while at the same time my other units are probably going to be fighting the enemies over the cliffs, the two range enemies over the cliff sides. So we're going to see how that goes and hope it goes well. I don't know what's happening. That just took a really long time. I guess like every single enemy was taking their turn, even though most of them didn't have actions to take. Alright, go here. Now I probably need to start worrying about the enemy attack ranges. Yes, I do. Do you overlap with anyone? No. So if I stand in this tile, I can draw out just the Elf Thunder Mage. Who should do such a task? Oh, I was going to check her level, by the way. Oh, she's already promoted. Okay, never mind. I did that already. What I need to do is make sure maybe I should get rid of her Paragon Band before the end of the chapter. Where is Delta? I'd actually like her to fight if possible. Can I dance her? I can. I should be able to draw the enemy out with her. I'll check the stats to make sure that they don't like one-shot me or anything crazy like that. So I have 27 attack. I have 11 resistance. I should take 16 damage. Yeah, I'm gonna be fine. Even if they somehow doubled me, I would be fine. Let me drink some water. My water-loving tendencies are on full display. Yeah, for some reason the enemy phases are taking a really long time, which is weird because there's just a bunch of enemies that aren't moving. Okay, so I should be able to draw out this mage. Right here. Wait, who is her lover? Claude. Can I get Claude over here? I might be able to do that. I believe this gives her a crit bonus. Although if she's using Wrath, she might not need it. I'm not sure. Oh, I can't get over there anyway. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, this is fun. Let's go. Well, I guess we'll start from the bottom. Work our way up. Alright, let's see if this guy moves. They didn't move. Interesting. Yeah, these are really long enemy phases. I don't know what's happening right now. Oops, I forgot to save. Should be fine. Worst case scenario, I have to go back 2 turns instead of going back 1 turn. But I don't even think that will happen. I don't see any other enemies on the map. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's happening. There's like really long enemy phases, but I don't understand what the enemies are doing that's causing these phases to take so long. Anyway, it looks like the enemies can't really do anything to me, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know why they're not attacking. I'm scared because if I put Luna in the range, I mean, he should be fine, right? I can also move to this sand style right here. Let me make sure I'm not in range of this guy. Okay. I don't know. Let's see what happens. If I move here, I'll have my full evasion bonus. I'll have Forsetti equipped. I should have a ton of avoid. I'm gonna leave Telta here, and I'll start moving the other units out of the enemy range. So maybe if it might be like in Awakening when enemy groups have linked AI, having Lewin within range of all of these enemies could potentially give us the possibility to cause them to start attacking. And then if they attack, the one who can target Telta might actually go after her instead of going after Lewin. Not exactly sure, but that's what I'm hoping will happen. And I guess we'll just leave Sigurd here. No, hold on a second, we can go like this. Hello, Aether. Did you miss very much? No, not at all. Before the stream started, I went into this castle up here, and I just repaired all of the items on my units. And then after the stream started, we've just slowly been moving across this desert for the last, I don't know, 6 turns or something. I'm getting Aaron to position to start fighting these mages as well. Let's say out of range of this one. So to the left of that cliff face is the furthest I can reach, which is great because that's my furthest movement tile. So let's see what happens now. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. How are you doing today? Oh yeah, the only other thing that's kind of throwing me off is these really long enemy phases. For some reason, the enemies are taking a super long time to take their turns. If you understand why that's happening, you could let me know. This is it. The time to strike is upon us. With the fire mages of Velthamer at our side, we shall crush the rebels in one fell swoop. You're doing pretty good. You just needed to get cleaned up. You mean you cleaned up yourself, or you cleaned up your house? I need to clean up myself more often. I pretty much only do it on days when I know I have to see another person. If I'm gonna if I'm just gonna be by myself all day, I do like the bare minimum. Hello X, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. You cleaned up yourself. You're also going to lunch shortly. Yeah, that's me. That's 100% me. If I know that I'm going out, or if I know that someone's coming over, I'll clean up. Otherwise, I'm living that slob life. Oh, she is in range of 2 enemies. If she dies, we're going back 2 turns. Great, we're going back 2 turns, guys. Hope you're ready for that. The one turn that I accidentally misclicked and didn't save my game is the turn when something goes horribly wrong. Hello, Antharesi. Hello, Duke Nuka-Cola. Welcome to the stream, both of you. QUAN is gone. QUAN is gone. That's a nice little rhyme for you. Alright, so I guess there's 2 enemies who can reach this tile, so I need to be more careful about where I leave Telta. Is there any tile that's only reached by 1 enemy? Does not seem to be the case. Alright, you know what? Let's just send Lewin forward. I feel like he can just dodge everything in existence. Oops, I forgot to switch Force Edit in his hands though. And also I can't trade his items because I'm playing FE4. Fantastic. Maybe I'll dance for him. I don't remember if she dances only for adjacent tiles or all 8 tiles around herself. Answer seems to be only adjacent tiles. Well, if he gets attacked and he dies, we'll reset again. Who am I pairing with whom? So the pairs kind of just happened automatically. I didn't really plan everything out the way that I should have. I got a few pairings that worked that I was able to plan out, but for the most part I just kind of like went with whatever happened. So I'll show you in a second who's paired. A couple of units also did not get paired yet. So Erin, it seems like she's not going to be paired with anybody. We tried really hard, but it just didn't happen. And then we hit turn 50. And I think on turn 50 they stopped building support points. And then someone said this is the last chapter to build supports. So it seems like I'm not getting any of their supports. I did Ideen with Azel. I did that kind of near the very start of the game just because they had that little scene together where it talks about how he had a crush on her or something. Claude paired with Telta. I think that happened automatically. Raquisis paired with Jamka. I think that happened automatically. I can't remember. I think I was trying to get her to pair with someone else. Sylvia with Lewin, that definitely happened automatically. And then Ira's up here, and I believe she paired with somebody as well. She paired with Holland. Yeah. And then Dew has a pairing with somebody, I think, maybe. Does he? No, he does not. Does anyone in here have a pair? Beowulf is paired with Bridget, yeah. I think that happened automatically as well. So I have like 5 out of 6 pairings happened automatically without me having any say in the matter. But it is what it is. Alright, so we're going to equip Forseti so that we can dodge everything in existence. I'll also put Jamka here. Maybe they'll attack Jamka, I'm not sure. You are going to go here. Sacred, where you can move here. That should be fine. So if I go here and dance for him, I can get him to move forward. Hey Milton, thanks for stopping by. Yes, it is a genealogy stream. Classically speaking, they have been my least popular streams, but I'm enjoying the game, so I'm going to continue playing it until I finish. Because that's just how I do things. I do not covet money nor fame. Duke Nuka says RIP QUAN. Yeah, I was really sad about that one. If I could take a character named Shannon into the end, it will be glorious. I think Shannon left to take care of the baby. I'm assuming they're going to come back. You can pair Lewin with a Pegasus Knight, if you remember correctly. Lewin's already paired. Yeah, Lewin's already paired with Sylvia. So the problem with Aaron is that I ran out of time. After turn 50, they stopped building support points. So she can't pair with anyone now. She can't get any more points. Her Lewin's easiest are Tail 2 and Aaron. Yeah. Alright, let's see what happens now. They're still not attacking. Interesting. They attacked last time. They're not attacking this time. But that's fine. That gives us more turns to do things with Aaron. Alright, so if I do... Oh no, now they're going. This is it. The time to strike is upon us. With the fire mages of Beltmar at our side, we shall crush the rebels in one fell swoop. Okay, now they're attacking. Okay, so they are attacking. Maybe the mage casting Meteor is what gets them all to start attacking? You think that might have been the trigger? Lewin Tail 2 allows for some second-gen cheese. Interesting. Alright, Jamka should be fine. I'm a little worried. If the guy runs over and kills him with the javelin, I'm just gonna, like, rip what little hair I have remaining out. This... Playing games on stream has already caused me to go 99% bald. I will go 100% bald if I have to. Okay, he's totally fine. He can tank those hits forever. He should also proc some skills, maybe? No, he didn't proc any skills. He did not kill the guy with procs. He can even tank this attack as well, I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's proc some skills, please. Nope, the enemy gets to proc some skills. I don't get to proc skills. They get to proc skills. You think the cheese pairing is actually not even that good, it's just something that the community likes doing? Yeah, there's always stuff like that. There's things that are, you know, a little bit overrated just because people find them fun, or funny, or quirky, or, you know, so forth. Alright. Execute the plan. Concentrate all of your fire on Reptor and his army. There will be no survivors under any circumstance. Am I clear? Yes, ma'am. Oh, hold on a second. They just turned yellow or green. There's so many enemy factions. What is going on here? Okay, who's this? This is Ida. She's a Meteor user. Interesting. She doesn't seem to be affiliated with these enemies. These are Frege enemies, and she is... No, sorry, hold on. Yeah, these are Frege enemies, and then she is associated with Velthamur? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's Excuse me, I'm not sure what's happening. Can I still attack these enemies? No, I can't attack them anymore. Huh. Okay. I don't know what this means. I have no idea what's happening. I do not understand. There is no understanding to be found. Alright, go. Where do you want to go? Alright, Telltale. She can't do anything, because the stupid desert movement is blocking me from being able to do anything. Alright. Go here. Wait. You heal him. Empress, he says, shout out to Myrmidon women in Fire Emblem. It's gotta be one of your favorite genders of all time. Yeah, Ira, I will say Ira in particular is really awesome. I love her a lot. She's been one of my favorite units to use in this game. Okay. Problem is, if I dance, I won't be able to do anything after I dance. So I don't think that's the move. I think the move is to kill this guy. This game has a lot of overrated units and pairings. It also depends on the context as to what you're doing, between LTC, ranked runs, casual play, or whatever else. I mean, that's always, yeah, like everything, basically everything is context dependent, if you think about it. Alright, can Clock kill this guy, maybe? Fire Tome? Does not seem to be the case. Hold on, how much HP does he have? He has 39 HP left. Yeah, I won't be able to kill him. Alright. Let's do... hold on a second. I kind of have to, though, don't I? Yeah, hold on a second. I can do it this way. I can do it this way, because I haven't danced yet. So if I go like this... The problem is if he procs his stupid skill that blocks all damage, I'm kind of screwed. There's like nothing I can do. Like, there's no way to play around that. They just for free get to block all of your damage and do whatever they want. Not my favorite thing in this game. Aether says sometimes alliances change in battle. That's actually true. I get, did she just, so did she just turn on these enemies? Which means I can probably just ignore them and let the meteor users kill them if I really wanted to. It'd be pretty funny. Alright, how many of these guys have ranged weapons? It seems like all of them have, like, most or all of them have ranged weapons. So I don't want to leave Lewin in range of, like, every single enemy, but I can maybe leave him in range of, like, 1 or 2. Maybe bait out, like, an enemy or 2. Something like this. If I put him here, and I equip Forseti, he should be fine. Alright, now, I'm a little bit confused about what to do with Aaron now because the enemy faction just completely ruined all my plans. Alright, let's see what happens. I'm just gonna leave her here and see what happens. So now Velthamor's going. X, you said that you like Lynn and Marissa. I feel like Ira is just like Ira is what everybody wants Lynn to be. Like if you take the idea of Lynn and you make her actually really good, you get Ira. That's why I'm really loving Ira, because she's just like the fun, awesome, like actually good version of like what people enjoy about Lynn as a character, at least as a unit. And first he says if you pair nobody, you get generic replacement units for 2nd generation, which is what Kaga truly intended. Yeah, I know there's replacement units or something, replacement 2nd generation units, which is very interesting to me. It's quite different from, you know, obviously what I'm familiar with in Awakening. In that game, all of the Gen 2 units are like pretty specific, and if you don't get them, then you just don't get them. And you can also get them at whatever time, other than Lucina, you can get them at whatever time you want. It seems like in this game there's a pretty clear divide, and you either get your Gen 2 units or you get the replacements at that exact moment, which I guess the closest equivalent would be Crom marrying a villager. Milton says the replacement units aren't very good, but you like them because it means you have to think more. Yeah, one of my favorite things. So I always find it weird when people get mad or get offended or like try to argue when people say like that your favorite units are bad or your favorite units are low tier. In my opinion, that's like almost a compliment because it means that I'm smart enough that I can beat the game using low tier units. So like if you're telling me that my favorite units are low tier, that just means I'm really, really good at the game. You got a blessed level 20 Lyn. Yeah, I mean, a blessed level 20 anybody is going to obviously be, you know, at least decent. Even a blessed level 20 Wendy is going to be decent. What? Velthamar has turned on us? I can't believe it! So this is what Arvis planned all along. Are they going to turn around and start attacking the other guys? It seems like they are, actually. Yeah, they're attacking the Meteor Mages. Interesting. And you're gone. You think Lyn is good with a bow? That's actually an interesting thought. You're not talking about level 20, you're talking about capped with 20 strength. Is 20 her strength capped? Because that's pretty funny. Yeah, Lyn with a bow could be interesting, honestly. But, you know, that's coming from somebody who mostly plays games where bows are very strong. I don't think they're actually that good in FE7 from what I remember. You think a blessed level 20 Cath would still be hot garbage? I don't know, I think she would be okay. I think she'd actually be okay. But I'm not prepared to test that theory. So I'm not gonna argue the point. Alright, so I'm very confused about what's happening right now. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, basically. Should I just let all these units kill each other? Or should I keep going forward? They're not attacking my units that I left in their range. Yeah, Milton agrees with me that bows in Fire Emblem 7 are not that good. Okay, so they will attack Lewin, so that's good to know. Die! If I'm to burn, you will all burn with me. I didn't even realize this was the enemy general. Oh, this is Reptor. So what happens when I kill him? Lewin dodging. Oh, hold on, he's got that JoJo pose. He just leaned out of the way. And then one-shots the boss. Arvis, what in the blazes are you scheming? They all just disappeared? What is happening? I just missed out on a ton of experience. I can't attack these enemies. I'm so afraid that the enemies are going to just turn red at any moment and kill me. This is bad. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm just terrified. Like, this doesn't make me feel reassured. This makes me feel like the enemies at any given moment are just going to turn red again and then just like, kill my units. Like, I can't move or do anything or reposition because I don't know when the enemies can change. or when like a wave of reinforcements are just suddenly going to spawn. This is terrifying. Reptor, the castle just got conquered. I guess I have to fortify here. I don't have any other staffs. You will not stand for this Athos erasure. Oops, else I can go here now and heal him. The weapon effective damage only does 2 times instead of the usual 3 times in Fire Emblem 7. I think I remember that. It's been a while since I played it. I was gonna do an Elliewood ranked. Yeah, Elliewood. I was gonna do an Elliewood ranked run off stream, and then just upload the footage, but I just didn't feel like doing it. I started doing it, and then I just like gave up. I was like, you know what, ranked runs aren't really my thing. I just find it boring to do the same thing over and over again, or to try to plan out a perfect clear. I much more enjoy playing like game modes and challenges that force me to adapt on the fly, like on a turn-by-turn basis. I just don't enjoy stuff where you have to put in that level of meticulous planning. Although, having said that, I am planning to do some streaming. I'm very strongly considering streaming tomorrow. I'm thinking of starting to plan out my Iron Man Lunatic Plus route, and I figured people might be interested in watching the planning for that, so we're going to consider streaming that. Especially because I have, I mentioned this earlier on Discord, but this week, Millie streamed twice, and I uploaded 1 video that was edited by Spin. So I actually didn't do anything this week. I did 0 work myself, other than I guess like some troubleshooting for Millie's stream. But other than that, like I didn't do anything this week, which means I've gotten a ton of rest. So I feel like I could stream tomorrow if I really wanted to. Just because I'm basically 100% rested right now, and at the end of today's stream, I will probably still be decently well rested. So there's a very, 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 very strong chance we get a bonus stream tomorrow. Very good chance. So he's my dancer, right? So I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen now, but I guess I'm going to start moving towards this castle. You think bows? Yeah, okay. I'm reading the comment. I'm not gonna read out loud everything in chat, but I'm reading the chat right now, seeing if there's anything that requires me to respond out loud. You think Athos is the GOAT? Yeah, the enemies all just faded out of existence when the moment the moment Loon killed their boss, which I guess is how the real world works as well. If somebody kills your boss, you just instantly disappear, as we all know. Let's see. You played Fire Emblem 6 with the Roy Harem challenge. It was so fun, but frustrating. Training 3 training units. What did you do? Just train like all female units or something? Train and use every female unit, something like that. You don't think you've ever seen a Lunatic plus Iron Man? You imagine it's pretty scary. You have seen Lunatic and hard mode Iron Mans. So, Kuroi TTV, which I'm going to type his name in chat. He has done a Lunatic plus Iron Man before, but it's different from the style of gameplay that I do. His route that he's been refining for the last like 8 years is very heavily predicated on Robin carrying the entire run, whereas if you've been watching my streams and watching my guides, you know that the way that I've been mostly playing the game and planning out the game is I want to try to use like an actual team of units and not just have one unit carry the game. So the question is, can I refine my strategies to the level where they are Iron Man viable? And I guess the answer is something we're going to have to find out through trial and error. But if you are interested in seeing a Lunatic plus Iron Man, you should check out Kuroi's channel, because he has done it already with Robin, with a Robin focus. But I mean, that's still impressive. It's still very impressive. It's just it's like a different thing. Okay. God, we have so much time to move these units across the map. You know what? We just saved. Let's see what happens when I go here. Talk. Ah, Lord Sigurd, I'm glad to see you're safe. What's going on? What caused Velthamer's change of loyalties? Lord Arvis has long been aware of your innocence and was on your side all along. This affair in its entirety was dictated by the whims of Reptor and Langbalt, architects of the conspiracy against you. Lord Arvis was unable to act until now, as the Duke's control of the royal court was simply too powerful to contravene. Is that so? All's well that ends well, then. I can restore my father's good name in the court, and that'll be the end of it. Indeed, Lord Arvis and His Majesty await your return in Valhalla, Lord Sigurd. Please make your way to the royal city as soon as possible. Really? Very well, I'll be going then. I hear that Lord Arvis arranged a ceremonial reception for you with the entirety of the Valhalla Royal Guard. Quite the magnificent celebration of your glorious return is in order today, it seems. Thank you. After all that's happened the past few years, this ought to be a fitting conclusion. Once we're done, I should look into getting my allies some compensation for their help. They certainly deserve it after all this. Indeed, sir. Is that the end? I thought there was still 2 more battles. Oh, I think we're done. I think we're done with this chapter finally. Da, 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 da. Hold on a second. So let me just get this clear. So this guy just immediately betrayed his allies and attacked them with his units from all sides. And now you're kind of moving into a formation where his forces now have us surrounded on all sides. And this is the guy who just betrayed his own allies. I don't feel too good about this. I don't feel great about this. Oh god. Let's see what happens. To quote Fire Emblem 10, surround them all. Ah, Lord Sigurd, this is quite the auspicious day. Congratulations on your triumphant return to the fatherland. It's good to see you, Lord Arvis, and thank you for such a lavish greeting. If I may ask, where is His Majesty? Alas, His Majesty is taken severely ill. He has become permanently bedridden. As such, I am administering all affairs of state on his behalf for the time being. Is that so? I'm sorry to hear that. I bet my misadventures didn't exactly help His Majesty feel any better. Once we're finished here, I should visit the palace and give him my sincerest apologies. I think not. Sigurd of Chalpi, I hereby sentence you to death for your crimes of treason. His Majesty will not be seeing you today, or ever. What? What are you talking about, Lord Arvis? You are only realizing now. You are far too naive, Sigurd. Need I remind you that you and your father still sought to usurp the throne and plotted against the crown? Nothing has changed. It is my duty to exact justice upon you in the name of my wife, Prince Deirdre. I trust you understand, Sigurd. Princess Deirdre? That... No, it can't be. Of course, you've never met, correct? Very well. I suppose an introduction would be a fair parting gift before your demise. Come, Deirdre, greet our guests. Oh my god, it can't be. What a shocking twist. Deirdre, allow me to introduce Sigurd, the spawn of your father's murderer, Byron. I trust you have some choice words for him? So this is Sigurd. Deirdre, no, this can't be happening. Why are you speaking like this? Deirdre, it really is you. No. Do you know me, sir? Of course I do. You're my... Enough! Deirdre, stand clear. This is an extremely dangerous man. Rest assured, this traitor will be punished. But he's... Can't we have even a little more time? Unacceptable. Guards, escort the princess to the castle. Wait, Arvis, please. Just a little more time. To quote Dr. Eggman, "No way! I can't believe this!" It's time, guys. We all saw this coming. "Wait, Deirdre, Arvis, please, I beg you, she's my..." "Enough. I grow weary of your ravings. Attention, men. We no longer have any use for keeping the traitors alive. Move in on Sigurd and his party. The time to serve them their punishment has come. Damn you, Arvis!" Ooh, we dropped a hard damn on this channel. That's very rare. We're getting hit with, I don't know what. We'll assume that it's maybe Hellfire or just like a bunch of meteors raining down on us. Oh, yep, meteors, okay. Well, you know, I'm pretty sure Lewin can dodge all of those, but let's put aside gameplay, story, integration for a moment. I'm pretty sure Lewin could fight his way through all of this. Lewin and Sigurd. It would actually be really cool if one or more of these characters actually fight their way out of this. That would be pretty epic. But I probably don't see that happening. And thus comes the end of an era. The path of Granvel's great unrest, arising from the conflict with Izak, has led one young man to his grim fate. His sorrowful tale and those of countless other valiants are now lost to the world. Many heroes lost their lives on this path. QUAN, the Prince of Leonster. Ethelyn, his wife. Noish, a knight of Chalfi. Lex, a nobleman of Dalzell. Medir, a knight of Jungmi. We could speed this up a little, couldn't we? And Sigurd, the young heir of Chalfi. Some characters will survive, thank you, Stat. The game remembers Lex, yeah, that's true. And the names of those heroes who fought alongside Sigurd to the bitter end at Belhalla, whose fates remain unknown. Alec, a knight of Chalfi. Arden, a knight of Chalfi. Azel, a nobleman of Velthamer. Did he kill his younger brother? Because I'm pretty sure that him and they were related. Ira, the princess of Isak. I'm pretty sure he killed his younger brother, if that's true. Aideen, a noble woman of Jungbi. Jamka, the prince of Verdane. Jamka was based. Raquisis, a noble woman of Nordion. Apparently they did a retranslation recently. Beowulf, a free roaming knight. This is what happens to your Fire Emblem teams anytime there's a 10 ranged home. Holland, a gladiator. Do, a thief. Arvis is equal opportunity when it comes to family. Casual stepbrother killing. Lewin, the Prince of Siles. I don't believe that Lewin died. Aaron, a Pegasus Knight of Siles. Yeah, they could have made this go a little bit faster. I'm being 150% honest here. Sylvia, a wandering dancer. They need a 150% emote for when things are like more than 100% true. Claude, a priest of Edda. Arvis did nothing wrong, really. He seemed like he did a couple of shady things there, like betraying his allies twice in a row. Taelta, a noble woman of Frege. Bridget, a noble woman of Jungbi. They absolutely could have made this go faster. These brave youths fought to change the world for the better, yet now their unfulfilled dreams lie dead with them on the battlefield. Was their sacrifice in vain? What were they fighting for all along? And what of the light? Milton says, if I don't know, some people will survive this, and the canon Spin-off lore about what happens to those is not kind. You can't remember anything off the top of your head, but it's big sad. Stat is telling me exactly who survives. I'm not going to read that message in full. I mean, I see Lewin, I'm not going to read the rest. Prefer not to be directly spoiled to that extent. Yeah, that speed was that speed was comical. That was comically slow. Now we start chapter 6. The final battle for control of Granvale sent its most powerful figures to the grave. Just as he had planned, this left Arvis as the sole ruling power of the kingdom. Aether, you're heading out to lunch? Okay, enjoy your lunch. I think I'm probably just gonna make my own food today, but I want to go out tomorrow. I would like to go out tomorrow if possible. We will see. Not entirely up to me. Opposition from Celeste and Leonster was swiftly crushed, and so Arvis unified all Jogdral under Granvale's rule. With overwhelming support from his subjects, Arvis thus became the first emperor of Granvale Empire. Alright, it's time for a poll. Is Arvis the rightful emperor? The losers will be forgotten to history, and Arvis will reign supreme. The first vote, I got a very quick vote for no. Very quick vote for no. That was pretty funny. 17 years have passed since the Battle of Belhala. The adoring public, who once welcomed the rise of Emperor Arvis, now struggle under his oppressive, dictatorial rule. And across Jugdral, in the other realms now dominated by Granvale, their people have been reduced to living as little more than slaves to the Empire's whims. You know who's a really good narrator, by the way? Go watch the dub for Gundam Wing. The narrator is like top tier. If I could narrate, if I had that voice, like if I could narrate like he does, I feel like my streaming career would be elevated to the next level. It was like one of the best narrators of all time. Wings of Light, it was you. You were the first Arvis hater. In the former kingdom of Izak, Granvale's harsh rule tortures the Isakian people. King Danan, the appointed king of Izak, is a brutal and unforgiving tyrant, just like his late father, Duke Langbalt. While Danan himself lives an indulgent life at the Rivu Palace, the people remain little more than slaves to the Empire. His second son, Johan, rules Isak Castle, while his youngest, Johalvir, rules Sofara. Johalvir looks very fabulous, by the way. And the remote Ganeshir region is governed by Danan's trusted confidant, General Harold. Now, I think we've seen this portrait before. I think that General Harold portrait, either he's been in the story before, or this is a portrait that they reuse for more than one NPC. Because I've seen that before. Under their rule, Izak knows no freedom. However, one last hope remains for Izak. Tirnanog, the isolated village in Isak's far north, there Prince Shannon works to raise a liberation army, whose strength grows with each passing day. Among these proud young warriors is a young man dubbed the Scion of Light by the people of Izak and revered as the rightful prince of the Granvale Empire. He is the brave young leader of this liberation army. His name is Seliph. I'm tearing up, guys. This is actually pretty epic. I'm about to cry manly tears over here. Chapter 6, Heirs to the Light. I'm assuming we're going to see some familiar faces. Yeah, along with Shannon. Shannon got a glow up, by the way. You can recruit Johan and Johalvir with Larse, but just one. Harold, have you ferreted out the rebels yet? Hold on a second, we need a good voice for this guy, because he's very ugly looking. Harold. 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 I'm trying to find his voice, I can't find it. Harold, have you ferreted out the rebels yet? Or, no, hold on a second. If I'm gonna stream tomorrow, I cannot use that voice. That voice would absolutely destroy my throat, and I would not be able to stream tomorrow. Harold, have you ferreted out the rebels yet? Or are you content to leave them unchecked for the rest of their days? Shannon and his rebel ilk are growing stronger by the day, and now they hamper us at every turn. And as if that weren't enough, they harbor the spawn of Sigurd the traitor. The very existence of this scum utterly defiles the authority of the Asakian throne. How do you expect me to explain this sorry state to His Imperial Majesty? 1,000 apologies, Your Highness, but everything is already under control. The rebel hideout has been found, and even as we speak, an army is on its way to crush them. These vile mice have nowhere else to run. By sundown, not a single rebel will still be breathing. Very well, but be warned, Harold. Don't even think of underestimating them. Most of the rebels are too young to pose a threat, but they still have Oife and Shannon. Those two alone are extremely dangerous, and dismissing them would be a fatal mistake. This sounds epic. I'm so ready for this. Yes, sir, I'm aware, but I've already had Tirnanog, the rebel hideout, surveyed in secret, and it appears that neither are anywhere in sight. It's safe to assume them to be currently absent, sir. What? Then why are we still talking about this? Send the order to move in on Tirnanog immediately! The people of Isaac are treating these rebels like some kind of heroes of freedom, but it's high time they learn the error of their ways. Kill them! All of them! I'll be waiting back at Revoke, and I expect nothing but good news. A Batman voice? That would probably destroy my throat as well. Ugly Fire Emblem characters are your beloved. Wings of Light says this is intense. Oife representation in this NPC dialogue. Yeah, they were like glazing him. He must be really epic if like the enemy faction is glazing him. Like you have to be really good for the enemies to be praising you to this extent. Wings of Light, kill every last one of them. We have a problem, Lord Seliph. It looks like the Empire's finally caught on to our whereabouts. A brigade set out from Genealogy, and they seem to be headed our way. Ugh, Ulster. Why so surprised? Did you really think our little hideout wouldn't be found out sooner or later? Let them come, I say. It only makes the battle easier for us. It'll be the easiest thing to just walk right over Genealogy and pick them off as we go. You've gotta be kidding. Prince Shannon's still off trying to find the Yeed Shrine, and Oife and the others aren't back yet. It's just us two against an entire army. Surely even you can't think this'll end well. I don't care. You can sit here and be scared witless as you want, but I'm not letting a chance like this pass. The prince still treats us like helpless children, but come on, we've had more than enough training. We're ready for real action. But I'm not gonna run away anymore. I'm sick to death of sitting here while these monsters butcher our friends. Or worse, the Empire's thugs are still out there, snagging any girl they see. If Prince Shannon hadn't come for me that day, I'd be just another one of them, dead or wishing I was. I won't forgive or forget their pain. No, that's not it, Larce. You're right, it's horrible and all, but you're wary of engaging the enemy, out of concern for my safety, aren't you, Ulster? Most likely, I presume Shannon would have given you strict orders to keep me safe. After all, if Shannon had not given such an order, you'd already be out there in the fray. To not be thirsting for a good battle just isn't the Ulster I know. Oh, that's right. Sorry, sir. I was hoping we didn't have to involve you. I'm no child anymore either, Larce. If you two plan to fight, then I plan to fight by your side. There's more at stake today than only the resistance. What of Tirnanog? We owe so much to its people. I refuse to abandon them at such a critical hour. We've no time to waste debating this. Lana, stay behind and help the citizens. we'll engage the foe in the western gully. Wait, Lord, I'm coming too. I cannot permit that, Lana. A cleric such as yourself is ill-suited for such a battlefield. This is my fight too. You won't convince me any more than you could have convinced Larcey. Every day I think the Empire can't get any more cruel, and every day I'm proven wrong. They prey on the weak and vulnerable, as if snuffing out their lives is a sport to them. I can't sit quietly and accept this. I may not be able to fight, but I have my own way of defending everyone. My apologies, Lana. You are absolutely right. The battle for Isok's freedom rests upon all of us. Very well, we shall go together. How this will turn out, I cannot say. But we owe it to all of Isok to give this battle no less than our best. Yes, my lord, and sorry, I shouldn't have spoken so brashly. Ha! You've got nothing to apologize for. Now, Ulster, Larcey, Lana, the time has come. Move out! You forgot he's called Ulster now? I don't know what he's supposed to be called. I don't know anything about old translations or new translations. That was a good scene. That was a really good scene. Wings of Light, you feel more invested in the Gen 2 story. This so far has been really good. Everything in Gen 2 so far has been very good. The hair is very orange and very big. Let's find him. Sorry, her. Yeah, that's actually that looks very different from every other character. The shading is different. Her hair is not shaded the same way as the other characters. It's very noticeable. Salif is just a level 1 basic lord. Larcey is a Myrmidon. Pursuit, Nihil, Astra, Luna. Can you tell me... This is probably a stupid question. She must be inherited from Ira. And then... There aren't like character bios that tell me like exactly who each character is, but I think this is Ira's daughter, and that would mean her father would be... I don't remember who the father was. Maybe you guys can tell me by looking at the skills. Like, is there any way we can find out who the father was? Because I don't remember who my parents were. But this is Ira's daughter. This is obviously Sigurd's son, Salif. I think it was Holland, yeah. So this is basically just Ira, but like with extra just stuff, I guess, added. Ulster, I'm not actually sure what Ulster is supposed to be. I could not guess what Ulster is. He has a talk conversation with Larcey. I literally cannot guess what Ulster is supposed to be. He has an iron blade and a wing slayer? I have no idea. Lana is... not sure. Restore, Physic, Warp, and Heal. Maybe Ideen. Ideen with Azel. Usually you go by their Holy Blood page. So this is Fire and Bow. So I think this is Azel with Ideen, if I'm not mistaken. That gives you hints if you have the inheritance. If you remember the inventories of the first gen, yeah, I'm pretty sure these are the stabs that Ideen had. So this must be Ideen's daughter. And then, so Ulster, I really don't know who this is. I don't know who Ulster is. Unless he's supposed to be the brother of one of these other characters. Nihil, he's Larcey's brother. Okay, that makes sense. So these two are brother and sister. Got it. That's really cool. Very fun. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where I'm supposed to be going because Sigurd said... sorry, Salif said... I'm going to have to get used to saying Salif now. Salif said we're supposed to be fighting in the Western Gullet, but we literally cannot go west from here. It's the one direction we cannot go. I guess I'm supposed to be going this way. There are a lot of enemies on the path. Do I see any villages that are in dire need of being rescued? There's one really far away. I don't know if I can ever get to that village in time. That area is blocked. This area is blocked. Any other villages? I don't see any other villages. Okay. Should I go grind in the arena before I do anything else? Is this an arena moment? The only problem is when you enter the castle, you lose your turn. Well, let's see what happens. He's Larce's brother. Yeah, thank you for that, Milton. The big thing is if the village is threatened, I might not be able to arena grind. If this chapter doesn't have an arena, then I'm just going to send my unit. I'm going to reset and just do the opposite of what I was doing. Saving there was probably not a good idea. Alright, so it looks like they're not moving to destroy that village, so I should be fine. I can just take my time and fight these enemies, unless there's something like happening that I'm not aware of. Can I visit the town? Yes, there is no arena. Okay, there's no arena. I can move my inventory around, though, if I want to. I've got a silver sword, a slim sword, I've got all the rings that I inherited. No, I'm gonna go to the armory. Bye-bye. The only thing they're selling are iron swords. That doesn't really help me. Alright. It might be hard for most characters to clear, yeah, but it could be possible. I'm playing completely blind, keep in mind. Oh, I can't leave now. This isn't good. I can't leave. Oh, depart. There it is. So, Ulster. Go here. Larce. Go here. And then Lana. Go here. And let's see what happens. I'm assuming he's going to attack one of my characters. Don't know who he will attack. He wants to attack Ulster. I think my characters are pretty strong, but anyway, I kind of derailed my own thoughts about. Sorry, but I was trying to say I'm playing blind, so I don't know what's going to happen anyway. But my thought process was that if there was an arena in there, even if they couldn't clear it, maybe they could go in and kill like 1 or 2 opponents each, and get some experience. But I guess not. So maybe this whole chapter doesn't have an arena, which is arguably a good thing because it means I don't have to arena grind. Ooh. Mounted units. We're too late. The battle has already begun. I guess news of Tirnanog, Seliph, and all that must have leaked while we were off scouting. I hope everyone's doing alright. Most of them will be fine, Lester, but what about your sister? What if Lana's gone and gotten herself mixed up in the fighting? She can't defend herself at all if she's out in the open like this. Sir, we should hurry back. The sooner we get back to Lord Seliph's side, the better. Indeed. Come, Dermot, Lester. The battlefield awaits us. Interesting. Some mounted units. Dermot. Sword Knight. Do not know what this is. He has some kind of holy blood. You went to the wiki and checked Sukaseha. Sukaseha is known as Ulster in Fire Emblem Awakening. Yeah, so I think the translation patch I'm using used the names from Awakening, which is probably why. Sukaseha. Sukasa. I don't know why they try to localize like weird names into katakana. They never sound like the katakana pronunciation never sounds the way that they want us to say it. So I don't know. They should just find a different way of doing things. That makes more sense. I'm gonna see if Larce can just run up and kill this guy like her mother was able to do consistently. Can she just delete units from existence? We're about to find out. Not really, no. She's not as dominant as Ira, but she is a level 1 unit, so she's got time. Lester is a bow knight. Interesting. I don't know what he's inherited from. All he has it. These might be either just like Gen 2 specific characters or replacement characters, because I noticed their inventories are pretty much empty. So this is Dermot. This is Lester. I don't know who they are. You can tell me if they're replacement units or if they're supposed to be like inherited units. And then this is Oife. Oife was pretty prominently featured in the story. In part 1, he was a follower of Sigurd. Oh yeah, there's talk conversations. I forgot to. Sorry, I saw that we had those too, and I just didn't activate them. Yeah, I know it's a character from Irish myths, so that's the really big thing. Is like they have a habit of using like really complicated like French and German and Irish names that don't really translate very well into katakana, and then they give them katakana names anyway, which don't match the pronunciation of how they're supposed to be pronounced, and then they get translated into English in a way that it just causes like extra layers of confusion. If they're gonna do it, they should just give them names and then just like stick with those names. Our boy is grown up. Yeah, Oife grew a mustache. Alright, let's see. Is he worth training or using? I'm assuming, I mean, out of these 3 units, I assume Oife is the best one. Although I really do like the idea of a hit and run bow unit. But I don't know if Lester's worth training. I mean, what skills does he have? He has Pursuit, so he can double. So he can double, he can also hit and run. I kind of like that. I like that build. I like characters who can double and hit and run. Because it means they can run in, shoot twice, and then run back. Which is very nice. Doesn't really help me in this case. It's kind of weird that he... Oh, he can move onto the road, but not the plane. Okay, that actually makes perfect sense. Okay, so if I move from this position... I can probably give this kill to Sigurd. I have a bunch of really dodgy sword units. It's like the whole of my army. By the way, the no vote right now is exactly 69, which is funny. For Arcus being the rightful emperor. Okay, so this one we can give to Ulster. Make sure to stay out of this guy's range. Oife created his eponymous subcategory, subcategory of Jagans. So he's like a, yeah, I've heard this term before. So he's like a good Jagan, right? Although it's kind of funny now because opinions on Jagans have completely turned around. Now everybody like thinks that all Jagans are good, pretty much. So the idea of like needing a term for a good Jagan is like, kind of irrelevant at this point because all Jagans are good. I had an Armor Slayer. What if I go here and equip the Armor Slayer? I wonder if the Armor Knight will run into me. Yeah, like the opinion on Fire Emblem Jagans has completely changed to the point where like all Jagans are now Oifes basically. Oh, interesting. He goes after Oife instead of going after Larse. But yeah, I'm just gonna say the names to the best of my ability, and if people don't like it, they can just leave comments about how hearing me pronounce the names wrong causes them physical pain. Which is great because comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Oife represents one that scales very well, and honestly you think the community might need newer terms because we can't really call Seth an Oife either. Yeah, like, but that's the thing, is like Seth scales very well, Frederick scales pretty well. If you know what you're doing, you can make Frederick scale very well. If you don't know what you're doing, he's still extremely useful for pretty much the entire game. But if you know what you're doing, you can also make him like even better. All right, let's get some talk conversations going now. Tree. I'm going to use this tree to my advantage. What talk conversations do we have? It's under the unit page, I think. Is it? It's under the unit page. Yeah. Okay. Ulster with Larse. Ulster with Larse. Ulster with Larse. Okay, Ulster with his sister, Lester with Lana, and Oife with Selith. Okay. So I'm gonna put Larse here. Can Ulster reach that tile? Where's Ulster? Yes. Okay, so let's do some story. We've done some gameplay, let's do some story. Right here. You holding up okay so far, Larse? Yeah, I'm getting by fine. Just be careful out here, okay? Your usual brazen antics will only get you in trouble now. I know. What, do you think I'm still a child? Man, that iron will of yours. Guess you're just like Mom was. If what Prince Janan told us is true. Yeah, Ira. I can't remember a thing about her. Can you? No, of course not. We're twins, remember? If you were too young to remember, then so was I. We weren't even 2 years old back then. It was Oife who took us with him when he fled to Isak with Seliph. We waited and waited, but Mom never followed. I guess she didn't make it out of the Battle of Valhalla alive. Ulster, you swore you'd never say awful things like that. Mom is alive. Alive! I'm sure of it. Don't you dare say otherwise, ever again. Sorry, Larce. You're right. I'm sorry. Ooh, she gained luck. That's a very lucky conversation, I suppose. Okay, if we move over here to this tile, we can fight just this axe fighter. Is the child above that threatened? Survey says yes. Let me put Seliph there. With a silver sword. I believe Oife has a conversation with Seliph. Oh, thank the gods, sire, you're safe. Oife, glad to see you made it back. What news of the rest of the world? The Empire's grip is tightening still further, as if trying to choke life from its people. It's inciting doomed revolts all across Jugdral. So it's as I thought. It isn't as if the Empire's tyranny would ever be limited to only Isak. Oife, is it feasible to assist them? Not as we presently stand, sire. We still lack the strength to properly challenge the Empire. Then what of our present battle? The war for Isak's freedom has already begun. Turning back now would be impossible. There's certainly no chance of returning you to hiding, sire, now that your whereabouts have been leaked. Starting the fight now was reckless, but we've no choice to continue. Oife, I'm sorry I let all this happen behind your back, but we had no choice. Even so, I don't think I could have stood, letting Isak suffer under Danan's thumb any longer. I trust you understand, Oife. I do, sire. Now our priority is to lay siege to Danan's capital, Revogue, with all due haste. Danan must fall before the Empire can send him reinforcements. We cannot afford to wait. I'm really hoping that this story is going to have a happy ending at some point in the future, because the way everything has gone so far, I'm really enjoying the fact that so far the second... I don't know, there's this feeling surrounding the second generation where all of these characters are so honorable and good, and they're in a world that has just completely turned to crap because of all of the actions of like dishonorable people and evil people. It just feels like right now that like evil is winning to an absurd extent, but they have introduced us to these noble, like honorable, good characters that you really want to root for, and I'm really hoping that it's not. I'm really hoping that they don't just like walk into an ambush and get killed as well. But we'll see what happens. Let's see. You guys are talking about Jagans in different games. Titania, yeah, Titania is really good. I think Titania, Seth, and Frederick are like top as far as like Jagans go. Alright. Lana, don't tell me you're fighting too! I am, Lester. I simply couldn't bear to leave Lord Seliph to fight alone. Why am I not surprised? Look, I know I can't let you leave, but please just be careful, okay? It'd break Mother's heart if something happened to you out there. I know, but actually, there was something Mother told me. She told me that we owe the greatest debts to the people of Isak, and that if we can help them in any way, we owe it to them to do all we can. Yeah, I guess she's right. I mean, we wouldn't even be here now if not for the help of the locals. So, where is Mother anyway? She's back in Turnanog's Abbey, working like always. Right, listen, Lana. We've got to give this battle our all, both in Mother's name and in the name of our lost father. Someday I know we'll finally be able to help Mother return to her home in Ljungby. You're right, Lester. So, Azel must have survived, and I guess this Lester character is inherited from Azel? Which is, I guess, why he has Pursuit. And he has the blood of Vala, but he can't use tomes. Interesting. I feel like you'd have to metagame to know, like, what, like, to pass down to him. To understand that, Ideen's son is going to be a bow knight. Like, that's not something I would have guessed or prepared for playing blind the way that I am. Duke, you haven't played the Tellius game so far? Yeah, Jill is really, yeah. Sorry. Titania is really good. Milton says, regarding the lore of the game, this continent has a lot of world building, but the games you have to sit through to get them are not the best for most players. Yeah, I haven't. I've certainly had my gripes about the gameplay, but I've been enjoying the game overall as a whole. Thracia 776 is a game that I can honestly say I don't think I will ever play. I really hate Fog of War more than any other game mechanic in the history of Fire Emblem, or honestly most strategy games. And from what I have seen and what I have heard, the Fog of War, I not only is that game like the introduction of Fog of War, but the Fog of War in that game is just atrocious. Like, I just don't think I could stomach it. It's just not for me. If I played it, it wouldn't make the Thracia fans happy, because they would just have to listen to me complain about Fog of War for the entire game, and it just wouldn't be fun for anybody involved. Let's see. Inheritance affects skills, inventories, and growth rates for the good or bad. Yeah, I figured that was the case. I didn't know for certain, but I figured that was the case. You like Fog of War, but the map design and the layout is not very good. Yeah, I really don't like Fog of War, and it's just not my thing. It's just not my cup of tea. Which, on the other hand, I know like most people like hate ambush spawns. I don't really hate ambush spawns that much. They're like fine. They just don't bother me that much. But like I hate Fog of War, so I don't know. Everybody has their own different preferences, and things that they like and dislike, and things they can stand and things that they can't stand. And just for me personally, I despise Fog of War. It makes me so salty. You've never played Fire Emblem 4 before? You've never played... X says they've never played Fire Emblem 5. You always see Fire Emblem 7 as the worst Fog of War maps in that game. Yeah, I hate the Fog of War in FE7. I hate it in FE8. I hate it in every game. One of the things that I love about Awakening is that it does not have Fog of War. It's probably one of the major reasons why it not quickly, but it eventually became one of my favorite games. Because there is no Fog of War in that game. It actually has none of the things that I hate. It doesn't have enemies with long-range status saves, and it doesn't have Fog of War. And those are my two least favorite things. Probably the fact that Awakening doesn't have either of those things is a big part of why I love it so much. Milton, you also don't hate ambush reinforcements, you actually like them. What you dislike about them is that they're static and not randomized. Oh wow, it would be crazy if they were randomized. The thing is, they have to do a better job of telegraphing them. It's a problem that I would like to solve in my future endeavors with game development. But we'll see. But yeah, that's actually a very interesting idea. I don't think I've ever heard anybody pitch that idea before. But you have to telegraph ambush spawns a little bit better to make them good. But if they were telegraphed, you could actually have a system where they were like semi-randomized, and it might actually be pretty okay. Might be pretty interesting to work around. I don't know. I've never thought about that before, but it's certainly interesting. All right, I'm gonna give this kill to Seliph. You've been playing Fire Emblem 6 as hard mode, and the first turn of Chapter 14 Arcadia really made you bitter. I tried playing Fire Emblem 6 recently off stream, and for some reason I just really couldn't get into it, which is weird because it's a game that I've always had a really soft spot for Fire Emblem 6, but for whatever reason I was just really struggling with it. It's punishing for first timers, you think? Yeah, see, Fog of War is always punishing for first timers in a way that's just very unsatisfying to me personally. All right, Dermot. I want you to start chipping this guy. So I was actually wrong about Lester. He was actually an inheritance unit. I just didn't realize it. Fall back. And then we can give this kill to... I'm a little scared of leaving my characters within range of too many foes. But I think Ulster will be fine here. Should I focus on Ulster or should I focus on Larcey? I feel like Larcey is stronger than Ulster. They should be equal, right? They should have the same exact build, same exact stats, same everything. But I'm not sure. Are they actually equal? Because if so, what I could do is get some better inventory, some better items into Ulster's inventory. But if they're not equal, like if Larcey takes after Ira more, it seems like Larcey would be the better one to train. Because Ira was the much better unit, the one that I actually trained. I'm gonna use Silver Sword here. I'm gonna hope for some proc skills. I got something. This might be Astra. Doesn't matter what it is, she just deletes them. You think that the chapter is better in the Fire Emblem 7 counterpart because of Pent's chances of dying from the Steel Lance Wyvern? Oh yeah, Fire Emblem 7 reuses a few Fire Emblem 6 maps, which is really interesting. What I do want to do, I do want to make a video about the connections between Fire Emblem 6 and 7, so I might have to play both games a little bit just to collect some footage, but I don't know if I'm going to do a full playthrough of them anytime soon. One of the things about inheritance this game is that you can be punished in stats but blessed in skills, so you need to find a balance for both so that the unit never suffers. Yeah, that's very interesting. It's a lot. There's a lot more to consider than with Awakening, where you basically just always get the positives from inheritance. You get added stats and added stat caps, +1 from your parents in that game. Okay, we're gonna go here, and if she stands here, or sorry, if Ulster stands here, he might bait out one additional enemy. Is there a lover system in the 2nd generation? Is that something I should start worrying about? Or do they just not pair up again after this? I think Milton is answering my question that I just asked. I think he's saying yes, there is a lover system in this generation. I wonder if I should pair up any of my units here. Lovers and conversations do happen. I'm probably not going to put a lot of thought into it, but I'll just let the units pair up with whoever they naturally gain points with, and whoever, like if they naturally fight together well with somebody. Oh god, that's pretty bad. I feel like that's an attack she really needed to dodge. We're probably at risk of dying if the other attack hits us, but I don't know what the chances are. Even the substitute characters have their own support conversations. Alright, we really need to dodge this one. We dodged. Probably gonna proc something here. This is my new proc queen. My Generation 2 proc queen. Everyone in chat right now is the king or queen, by the way. You're all epic. Alright. Can I reach him with my Overslayer? I can, that's crazy. That is cracked movement. Alright, let's take this guy out so he doesn't become a pain for my other characters. Speaking of inheritance, Virion in Awakening is an underrated father. He is really good on the likes of Severa, Yarn, and even Brady. Let me think about what... I haven't really put a lot of thought into Virion yet for my long-term... for my build guide videos. What I will say is that I am starting to learn that the most important thing in Awakening about what makes a Gen 2 unit viable in no grinding context is their starting class, as well as the starting class of their fixed parent. So, for example, what makes Noaru very strong is that she starts in Archer, which is a very good class, and her mother is a Dark Mage, which is a very good class. So she can inherit things from Saria that she would otherwise not naturally get from her class set, and then also herself starts in Archer, which is a very good class. On the other hand, one of the things that I don't like about Owain is that he starts in Myrmidon. So Vantage is a skill that you really want to inherit, and Myrmidon is not really a class that you want to start in, because it only promotes into Swordmaster and Assassin. Now, Assassin is pretty good, but Assassins typically don't really want or need Vantage that much, so his entire build just has like a huge identity crisis. I guess the best thing to do with him would be going through just, I don't know, Myrmidon into Swordmaster to make him like a dodge tank, but that's not really a reliable build. Like, you can't rely on a dodge tanking build to a great extent. And there's just so many problems with it, and like he doesn't really inherit anything from Lisa. It's just like in a no grinding context, it's very difficult to make smart use of Owain because of his starting class and the starting class of his mother. I have Adept, Charm, and a Cost. Excuse me. You don't think you've ever done Virion, Brady? No, our starting map is absolutely brutal. Yeah, we just did it on the previous stream. If you want to check it out, the stream from last Saturday, we did Severa. Did we do Severa? No, we did Severa the week before. 2 weeks ago we did Severa. Last week we did Cynthia and Noir, and then next week I'm going to do Morgan, and I'm going to use Morgan's because Morgan's paralog is pretty easy. I'm going to use Morgan's paralog to train my other characters. Love that I got a free heal staff though. He passes neutral magic and strength and magic, +2 skill and speed, and good classes like Wyvern, Archer, and Mage. Yeah, speed is extremely important, so any of the parents that pass down speed are kind of inflated in value, honestly. Speed is extremely important on higher difficulties. Even me, who have been playing the game a lot, like, I've still recently come to conclusions about like speed and like how it's even more important than I thought it was. Like speed is so important in Lunatic Plus and even Lunatic mode in Awakening. You've mostly played Awakening. Yeah, see, that's the thing is that a lot of people pretty much only played Awakening like around the time when it came out. They pretty much only played Lunatic or even Hard. They played allowing themselves to grind. They played allowing themselves to use Spot Pass. Like, the discussions about Awakening are not very well developed in terms of like what an actual no-grind playthrough should look like, because most people just don't have a very good, like a very fleshed out experience with the game. They just played the game a long time ago in a very casual way, and they don't really have like the knowledge that you would need to make like a really like good, well, like a really well-planned run. Ulster should be able to pick up this kill. Yeah, like grinding for 999,000. Yeah, like grinding for max renown, stuff like that. Like that's the kind of, you know, that's like the kind of stuff people did back then, which is fine. Like if playing the game that way is fun for you, then you should play the game that way. But it's just, it doesn't really give you the information that you need to plan a no grinding run, especially on something as hard as Lunatic Plus. Like the builds and the skills that people think are really good are things that are just like impossible to get on a no grinding run, because you don't have enough experience and levels to actually to complete those builds in many cases. So it's just, yeah, it just doesn't work the way people thought that it did, or that people talk about. By the way, I have to take a break really quick. I want to go refill my water, and I also have to use the bathroom. So let me finish this enemy phase. I'm going to take a quick break, and I recommend that everyone in the world go drink some water as well, because it is extremely good for you, and your health is the most important thing. And water is the best thing for your health. I will be right back. I'm back, just in time to say hello to Draconis. Welcome to the stream today. I hope you're doing fantastic, fabulous, wonderful, amazing, and awesome. Duke Nuka says they're thinking of Inheritance, planning out Inheritance for their Apotheosis DLC. Good luck with that. It's very difficult, even with like everything planned out and even with grinding allowed. By the way, I don't know if you guys have been hearing this, but there's been birds chirping in the background during today's stream. There's like birds right outside my window, which I guess is nice nature ASMR or something. The things that people got right from back then is that Gale Force is pretty strong, Rally is pretty strong, and Rescue is also very strong. Actually, Rescue has been unbelievably underrated for the last 10 years. It was not incorporated into almost any strategies other than for skipping maps, which is something you can do, but there are a dozen other uses of the rescue staff that are better than skipping maps. It is so powerful. It is, without a doubt, the most powerful E-rank staff that has ever existed in the history of Fire Emblem. There's never been a Fire Emblem game where you can just change any character into a staff-wielding class. Like, you can change Kellum into a priest, and he can just... The fact that he can hold a rescue staff in his hands makes him extremely powerful. Just because the rescue staff is so good, and anybody can use it at E-rank with, like, base, like, priest or mage magic. The way I described it in my team building video, imagine if Marcus in Fire Emblem 6, Marcus is often used for like rescue dropping in Fire Emblem 6. Imagine if he could rescue Roy from like 3 tiles away, and also instead of needing to have Marcus pick somebody up and then have somebody else drop Roy, Marcus could also just pick up and drop Roy with a single action from 3 squares away. Like, imagine Marcus could do that. That would be incredible. That would completely blow the game wide open. It would completely change how the game was played. And the thing is that you can actually do this in Awakening. And like, there's like half of the characters can do this if you just switch them into a staff wielding class. And on top of that, you have characters like Lisa and Muriel and Anna who can basically rescue characters from the other side of the map. Like, they can pick up any character that they need to from all the way across the map. And you get access to it like at the very start of the game, and it's infinitely buyable. You can infinitely buy as many rescue staffs as you want. It's unbelievable how broken the rescue staff is, and how long it took people, basically me, because I'm the one who made the video about it, how long it took people to realize it. Alright, how much movement do these guys actually have? And then I also have to factor in the stupid roads. I can never count the movement on the road tiles. They have 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, how does movement on roads work? Somebody tell me. Milton, you seem like you're very familiar with this game. Please explain to me how the movement on the roads works so that I can actually count this guy's movement. Because I always get it wrong. Every single time enemies have moved across roads in this entire playthrough, it's caused them to go further than I think they're supposed to go. You think in Fire Emblem 12 Rescue got changed because Fire Emblem 12 is a remake of Fire Emblem 3, from Yumina specific to anyone wielding it in E-rank as well, but you do have a limit of X per class. Yeah, there's not any other game that has like infinitely viable rescue staffs, especially not that you can get so early in the game, and also requires like no staff rank at all. Like that's the key thing. It's like all 3 of those features. Like, some games have some of those features, like 3 Houses, for example. Your characters, once they learn how to cast Rescue or Warp, they can cast it, 3 times per map or 4 times, whatever their limit is. They can do it every single time. So it's essentially, you can do it 3 times per map for the rest of the game. But they're not going to have it at the start of the game, and they can't do it just from being like an E-rank staff using class. So that's kind of the difference. I'm a little bit less familiar with FE12, but from what I remember, I don't know if that game has infinitely buyable stabs. Infinitely buyable rescue stabs, early on especially. Alright. Unfortunately, we're just gonna wing it for this turn, but I would like to know how that formula works for the future. You're gonna stand here. Warp and Rescue in DS Fire Emblem are even more broken because the staff range is infinite instead of dependent on the user's magic. Yes, but the thing is, the fact that rescue is infinitely... The thing is, the fact that the rescue staff is infinitely rebuyable, and anyone can just use it. Alright, so it looks like I put myself in range of 2 enemies, but they can't actually get to this square. So I think we're okay here. Yeah, the big point, it's not just the range, because honestly, like, the range is, like, honestly, having a 3-range rescue is good. Like, you don't, like, obviously having a 20-range rescue is better, but having a 3-range rescue is still useful. But the big point is that you get it early on, you get an infinite number of them, and any character can use it. Like, those 3 points are what make it such a powerful tool in Awakening, because it allows you to use use the rescue staff as much as you want. You can use it like 4 times in a single turn, multiple times in a single battle. Like, there's no other game that allows you to just constantly rescue your units and do like dive strategies where you have units dive in and pull them back like over and over again aggressively for the entire battle. Roads cost 0.7 movement per land tile. That is so stupid. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Oh god. They don't have a commander, so that means their AI is like pretty much random, if I remember correctly. Okay, Dermot, you're gonna soften up this guy and then run away. Excuse me. Intelligent Systems also destroyed the Again staff in Fire Emblem 12. Instead of making your whole army move again, you can only cast it on 1 unit. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Fire Emblem 3 or Fire Emblem 12. I have played Fire Emblem 12. I didn't beat it, but I think I got a little bit more than halfway through, but it was a while ago. It was like right around the time when the translation patch first came out, if that makes me sound as old as I am. And then Fire Emblem 3, I actually played the Super Nintendo version. It was my first ever Fire Emblem game, technically. It was in Japanese at the time. I did not understand anything, and I did not even beat the first map. And it was the Fire Emblem 3, like, Book 1 and Book 2. So it was literally just the first map of, like, Fire Emblem 1. I didn't actually even play, like, any of the, Fire Emblem 3 content, Book 2 content. You think the Again staff would have been too powerful, Duke? The thing is, like, the way I'm describing rescue and the way I use rescue in Awakening is very similar to, it's not exactly the same thing, but it gives you a lot of the same value as having, like, an extra dancer. And in some ways you can also use it with your dancer. So there's just, like, yeah, there's just so many ways that you can make fantastic use of the rescue staff. I gotta be very careful. Gotta be very careful about where I move my units because these mountains. Okay, so if I do Larcey here, this should be a 2-shot kill, and this enemy can't hit me. The FE3 Again staff is just no requirement, full army Gale Force. It only had 3 uses in the original FE3. Yeah, so it kind of gets into this whole discussion we're having. It kind of wraps around, and we keep coming back to the same point, which is that, you have levels of brokenness. Like, something can be broken, but if you can only use it 1 time, like, it's not, like, meta-defining. If you can only use it 3 times, it's not really meta-defining. Something being very powerful and being able to use it over and over again is what really defines the meta. Alright, we need to make sure that Salif is gaining levels, so I'm going to give him this kill. I don't think this is a 1-shot. Okay, I'm bad at math. That's a 1-shot. I'm actually good at math. I'm just not good at math while streaming. Nice level up. Beautiful level up. Alright, so if I go here now, this should block the other enemies from getting through to the rest of the units. Nice kill. I am going to stand here because I don't want the enemies to move forward and I'll attack Salif or Larcey. I'll just let OFA get these kills. Yeah, that's why javelins are the king of weapons. This is Milton, by the way. I'm reading Milton's comment. Milton says, javelins. This is the reason why javelins are the king of weapons in the GBA games, because even though a brave silver or S tier lance might deal more damage, if the javelin kills the enemy, then it's good enough. Yes, that is an extremely important thing that many people do not take to heart. Is that if something is good enough, it is good enough. You don't need to be the most powerful thing in the game. If you can get the job done, then that's all you need to do. The same goes for like ranking units, like unit viability and things like that. Like people get way too hung up on like needing to use like the most powerful unit, when the reality is like if a character can meet the benchmarks that they need to do, that's the only thing that they need to do. Interesting. The archer just moved into a very interesting position. I should be able to body block him. Oh, that village is going to be in a lot of danger. I might send Oife forward because I want him to rescue that village. Can I get through the guy with the armor slayer? I'm not sure. We'll find out. The answer seems to be yes. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to heal him because he's going to be way out of range. Maybe I can physic him. Oh yeah, okay, so he doesn't move as far as I thought. I probably moved Dermot too far back, but I can actually move him here. Can he pick up this kill? Yes, just barely. I'll give it to him. It helps. I'm kind of struggling with action economy right now, so giving him the kill is better than not. And he can also move out of range of the archer, which is good, because I can now body block the other archer. I will have Ulster do it. Iron Blade should be fine. Just start chipping away at him. You go here. Excuse me. You think if something is that broken, they have no choice but to limit it. Oh yeah, I mean that's true. That's the reason why things are balanced the way that they are. It's just, I'm talking more about assessment than balance. Like when you're assessing how good something is, you need to consider things like how often you can actually use it, whether it just gets the job done, because that's often all you need. Things like that, rather than purely discussing like what is the strongest thing in a vacuum. Although that can be important as well. It can also be important to keep that in mind as well. I think this is fine. I double him, right? Yes. So if I go here, like another conversation that I often, oh, never mind, I don't deal anywhere near as much damage as I thought, and this guy's going to kill me, which is cool. Probably gonna have to redo this turn. I have no idea how that happened. I just saw myself dealing damage, and I did not deal the damage that I thought I was going to deal. Maybe if I move her in range, the enemy might attack her instead, I'm not sure. Oh, hold on, I can physic him. This might be enough to keep him alive. Oh yeah, that's a lot of healing. Okay, now this archer should not be able to one-shot anybody. Bailed out by the physics staff. A good example of realizing how powerful something is the Shadow Dragon Hammer'n staff, because 12 uses is way more than you actually need. Oh yeah, the Hammer'n staff is another one where if they give you enough uses, it definitely becomes meta-defining. Like in Shadow Dragon, it's pretty meta-defining, because having that many uses just allows you to basically Hammer'n as much as you want to. Like you're not going to have 11 items that you need to repair, or if you do, it's going to be the 11 items that you wanted to repair. You don't have to make any tough choices. So that ultimately defines the meta, because it allows you to be a little bit what's the word I want to use? I'm not sure. It allows you to use really powerful items without worrying too much about them breaking, is the best way to say it. Alright, we've healed Oife, we're sending him as far forward as we can, and we're hoping that he's going to reach this village before it gets destroyed. And then we'll probably figure out who we want to give the gold to later. Minimalism is embodied in draft racing, LTC, speedruns, and ranked runs, or really anything where you plan things out, because the goal is designing plans when you're planning to beat a chapter, you just have to, you have to beat it by very thin margins with the minimum required resources. I think over investing typically doesn't really pay off in that style of run, although sometimes it can. It kind of depends on the run. Depends on the game, depends on the run. Like, if you're playing, Awakening is a game that is very kind to juggernauting. So if you are playing Awakening, especially on, like, something like hard mode, you could very well get away with just hyper investing into a single unit, and they will quickly end up being much stronger than they need to be, but they will also just sweep through the rest of the game. So in that sense, trying to plan things based around a thin margin is less needed in that situation, because you will often have more experience than you need. And you can funnel it all into a single unit. And it's powerful enough to work very well, especially on hard mode, and to a lesser extent on Lunatic, and to an even lesser extent on Lunatic Plus. I really think though about Awakening, people who want to just solo sweep the game with one unit are really selling, like, not making the best use of their resources, because, like, you get Anna for free, and you can just deploy Anna and have her use the rescue staff, and it's so powerful to have her do that. Like, to not do that is kind of silly. And it's often not that difficult to keep her safe. You could just, and even if you're having trouble, you could just, like, not deploy her on the maps where it's difficult to keep her safe, but then still deploy her on other maps, which it gives your main Juggernaut unit, like, more flexibility or a little bit less pressure. By the way, so let me know if there's anything in this village. I don't like games that hide information from you and require you to use a guide. So, if people want to tell me what items are in villages and things like that, I am perfectly happy to use that information to better plan out what I'm doing. Because I find it to be very stupid if I have no way of knowing what's on a village until after I've already, obtained the item. Especially because the inventories in this game are locked. Hello, Leon Hearted. You couldn't enjoy Awakening no matter how much you limit yourself after the first few chapters. I think Awakening's my favorite game, so we're definitely not going to see eye to eye on that one, but it doesn't really bother me if other people like or dislike it, so it's fine either way. But yeah, I do understand why a lot of people have a harder time getting into it, but I don't know. The thing is, I try to explain to people why I think the game is fun, but depending on the person, some people take that as me, like, trying to argue with them. I don't generally like to argue with people about opinions. It's a waste of time. But if someone asks me why I think something is fun, or if we're having a conversation about it, I could certainly explain to you the reasons why I think the game is fun. I could even explain to you the reasons why I think many people have a hard time getting into the game. But I would not try to argue with you and try to convince you that because I think the game is fun, that you must also think it's fun. That is a different conversation, and not one that I find interesting. You've actually never finished a run of Awakening, says Milton. That's you should definitely give it a shot. Oh, you don't know this game that well. Okay, sorry, I was misreading the conversation. I thought you kind of came across as a little bit of an expert, so that's a little bit surprising to me. Chapter 16 gives you PTSD in Awakening, Chapter 16. Duke Nuka says it's been a while since you played this game. Hold on, let me look up Chapter 16 in Awakening. I want to see what chapters you guys are talking about. I'm very bad with remembering chapters by their numbers. Chapter 16. Like, if you told me, like, one feature of the chapter, I would know what chapter you're talking about. It's Naga's voice, okay. So it's the Mila tree. Yeah, if you told me the map with the Mila tree, I would remember. So I highly recommend checking out my stream where I did this chapter on Lunatic Plus. It will completely change your mind about how hard it is, because there is a tree branch on the bottom right corner of the map, and you can literally fly your units over there, and none of the enemies can attack you. It's very funny. It takes like 100 turns to beat the map, I don't really do it that often. I don't do it that way anymore very often because I found better and faster ways to clear the map. But it is very funny to know so many people, myself included, I used to struggle with this map. And then I noticed the tree branch on the bottom right, and I went over there and I developed this hilarious strategy where you just use this tree branch, and none of the enemies can reach you. You can just fight them. You can just have your Gale Force units fly over, kill one enemy, fly back over, fly over, kill one enemy, fly back over, and you can just do that for 100 turns. The reason I did it on stream was because I was trying to feed experience to specific units, and that requires slower and more deliberate play. The more proactive way to beat this map is to just go fast. All of the maps in Awakening that have powerful ambush spawns, including Chapter 16, the chapter we're talking about right now, the Mila Tree. This map has ambush spawns that appear on the bottom of the map and appear and just kill all of your units if you're nearby. However, if you just run through the center of the map quickly and kill the boss, you can always kill the boss before the ambush spawns appear. And all of the chapters that have deadly ambush spawns are kill boss maps. So all you have to do is just run to the boss and kill him. You never have to deal with the ambush spawns. That's something that I think a lot of people don't really know, or don't really utilize. Like, they don't utilize that knowledge. They might know it, but they don't really think about what that, the implications of what that means. Especially because of them playing Awakening 8 years ago, giving up on it, and then never giving it a chance ever again. But if you understand that every single chapter that has annoying or deadly ambush spawns can literally just be beaten by running up to the boss and killing them, and never fighting any ambush spawns, I think people would have a much more favorable opinion of the game. It's been 5 years since you played FE4. You've played Genealogy a bit, but you never finished the game. You think you're dating yourself if you say it's been close to 2 decades. It's okay. The average viewer in my stream is like 25 to 35 years old. So this is not a Zoomer stream. This is a Boomer stream. And I myself am not particularly young. The first time you played it, it felt like the hardest map in the game. Yeah, I mean that one is definitely a wall for like it's a difficulty spike. There's a couple big difficulty spikes. I think chapter 5, 6, 12, 16 are pretty much near the top of the list for chapters that just feel impossible to beat if you don't know what you're doing. But all of them, to varying degrees, have ways in which they can be made significantly easier. Sorry about the background noise, by the way. There's literally nothing I can do about that. It is 100% out of my control. Just depends on how loud and obnoxious my neighbors would like to be. The birds chirping earlier was much nicer. That is someone's car. It sounds like they're playing music at an unbelievable level of volume. I'm almost certain that you guys can hear it. Once the light turns green and they drive away, you won't be able to hear it anymore. I'm assuming. If this goes on for too much longer, I'm gonna have to temporarily mute my microphone, literally just like to avoid copyright strike. Like, this is absurd. Alright, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to kill this guy with my Armor Slayer. You guys can hear that, Duke? I'm almost certain you can hear that. There's no way you can't hear that. That is probably one of the loudest background noises that has ever been featured on my stream. Like, I don't think there's ever been another time when the noise has been that loud. Okay, yeah, he just drove off. The light just turned green. Absolutely crazy. Like, how do people like that exist? Like, how can you go, like, literally explain to me how you can live in the world and like, be that loud and not consider, like, I wonder if other people want to hear my crappy music. Like, I wonder if everyone in the world wants to hear my crappy music today. Yeah, probably. I think everyone wants to hear it. How could you not think, like, oh no, they just came back. They're here again. How can you not think, like, if they wanted to listen to it, like, if I wanted to listen to that music, I would turn it on, like, on my speakers, and I would be listening to it already. I would already be listening to it. I wouldn't ask somebody driving by to turn their music up as loud as possible, just so that I could listen to their epic tunes. I just don't get it. I really don't. It's absurd. Like, how can you go through life being that clueless? I don't know. Darn it. But that's my rant for the day. The background noises drive me crazy. If this is your first stream, that's gonna be your first time hearing me rant about the background noises. Okay, they don't trigger. It doesn't trigger their linked AI when I do hit and runs. Leon says they actually couldn't hear it. Oh my god, they're back again. What are they doing? Are they just driving in circles around the block? That might be somebody else. They're playing different music now. Well, Leon said that you guys can't hear it, so it doesn't bother me much. I mean, the noise kind of bothers me, but what really bothers me is thinking that people on stream are going to hear the background noise. Like, I really dislike that. So it usually agitates me, and then I just start ranting about it. Milton, you think they're parked outside waiting for someone to come out, or they're lost? I'm not really sure. I think they're just driving around being loud just because... I mean, there's no good... I couldn't give a single good explanation. Like, if I tried to give any explanation, it wouldn't be a good one, so I'm not going to try to guess why they did it. King Danon's got 3 sons. The oldest, Brian, lives at the family home in Granvale. The younger 2 serve him here in Isak. Johan controls the Isak castle, while Johaldir controls the Sofara castle. They're both kind of an odd sort, and they both got this obsession with someone in your army called Larse. Always squabbling they are. I don't know though, neither of them are really all that bad, really. Heck, I bet they even want to join forces with you. Okay, so this is a hint about joining forces. Who's this? This is Harold. So this is not somebody I can recruit. This seems like it's going to be a long chapter. I'm considering the merits of doing a short stream today and ending the stream after I liberate this castle. I haven't decided yet. I'm still deciding right now. But because I would like to stream tomorrow, it might be a good idea for me to limit the length of the stream, especially because I also have plans for later tonight. Car gaming. You guess it can't be helped. Well, as long as you guys can't hear it, it doesn't bother me that much. If I thought you guys were hearing it, that would really upset me. It would cause me to rant and rave like an insane person. Leon Harder, what are my thoughts on FE4 so far? I really like the story. I really like the characters. It's impressed me in a lot of ways that I did not expect. There are some very interesting ideas. Not all of the ideas have been executed in the best way possible. That's probably the summation of my thoughts. But I am enjoying it as a whole. Yeah, if I'm planning on streaming tomorrow, I think a short stream is good for today. Because I really have to protect my voice. I have acid reflux, and I get problems if I talk too much, especially on stream. Like having to constantly project my voice on stream eventually causes me to have like throat problems, like burning in my throat and things like that. And it's better to just limit the amount that I stream. All right, let's see if this guy will move. Nope, they just don't move. Okay. Well, I can probably move in and finish off this guy now. I'm gonna check to see if the boss has anything in his inventory. I remember sometimes the bosses have items that are worth getting. I'm really glad that so many people showed up today, though. It was a very nice active chat today. Return band. It allows the user to return to the base castle at any time. What kind of character would want that, do you think? I'm actually not sure who would want that. Is there a reason why Lester didn't get any items? I guess he would normally inherit his inventory from Azel, but Azel didn't have anything that he could use. Is that what happened? I've talked about the acid reflux before on stream. It's so bad, guys. It's brutal. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Especially for stuff like streaming multiple times in a week. Ulster. Can Ulster secure this kill, or should we just give it to Larse? I'm gonna give it to Ulster. I don't know if this is worth doing or not. Okay, so I should be doing 9 damage here. For some reason, last time I just completely miscalculated his damage. He just didn't do as much as he said he was gonna do. Duke Nuka says it was one of your first times commenting on one of my streams. I think I recognize your username. Have you left comments on my videos before? I think I recognize your username, but I could be wrong though. Not to humble brag, but some of my videos get a lot of comments, and I do read all of them. So at a certain point, it becomes very difficult to keep track of everybody. Like sometimes a name will look familiar, but it might just be that you have a similar name to somebody else who I've already seen before. Yeah, one of the ideas that is pretty hit or miss is the roads and just the really big maps. Like, I just don't think the maps needed to be this big. They could have made them all smaller. If the character's child cannot inherit from their parents, those items get redistributed somewhere else in Gen 2. Okay, so Azel's items are going to go to another character. Hello, Ouija. Welcome to the stream. You love cute Ira? You mean Larcy? Yeah, we got... Ira was one of our best units, and we got a really awesome Larcy as a result. She's looking awesome. She, like, even at level 1, she can just instantly delete enemies, which is funny. Duke Nuka, you say that you don't think you left any comments on my videos? Okay, I'm probably just misremembering them. Draconis, you're talking about a game with good-looking Templar Knights and spear animations. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What game do people bring up? Are you talking about this game, or are you asking about a different game? I'm not sure. I don't even know what Templar Knights are, and I also always play with animations turned off, so I'm really not the person to ask. Someone else in chat can probably answer. Yeah, you don't have indications about where the items are going to go. Alright, who do I want to give the return band to? Honestly, like, Oi Fei, not only is he good with the Armor Slayer, but being able to send him back to the castle seems like it would be useful, because he has so much movement and he's so powerful. Ugh, calm down. No, calm down. They're nothing more than petty rebels. Oi Fei just casually one-rounding this guy. What a scary boss. Oh, how could I fall to a few motley soldiers? Gen 2 has been really good so far. I got the return band onto Oi Fei. It just makes sense. I'm gonna wait here. We're gonna get some cutscenes. I am gonna read all the cutscenes today, so the stream's not ending immediately. Whatever cutscenes we get, I'm gonna read them all. You think the reason they have maps on this scale is to represent the size of the war? You have multiple armies doing different things. This is also the first one with more than 2 unit colors. Yeah, I totally understand the reason why they did it. It's just not something that appeals to me as a gamer. What appeals to me more as a gamer is convenience, like fast, snappy, well-balanced gameplay. Like having a giant world like doesn't appeal to me at all. It does nothing for me. It does not impress me. It does not entertain me. So making concessions to make the gameplay less fun in order to make the world bigger is like, for me, is just a pure downside with no benefits at all. Draconis says there is a Fire Emblem game that has zombies and has very good looking armored knights and a spear animation with chains on it. You don't know which one it is. Zombies. There's not zombies in very many games. There's zombies in Awakening. There's zombies in Valencia, which is also FE2. I should play Valencia on stream. I haven't beaten it before. I've only played maybe the first chapter, honestly, like not very far. I didn't have the opportunity to play much of Valencia before I had to give it back to my friend who I was borrowing it from. Milton says it's not executed very well, but you can understand what Kaga and the crew were going for. Yeah, I mean, I still give them credit for, you know, their ideas. For like when I say like good ideas, bad execution, like I am giving credit for the good ideas. Like that is part of what I'm saying. I do like to give credit to people when they do come up with good ideas, but it's just, if it's not executed well, then I also have to think about if it could have been, or ways that it could have been improved. You guys think that Draconis is talking about Fire Emblem 8? Yes, Fire Emblem 8 has zombies as well. You're right. Fire Emblem 8 actually has a lot of things in common with FE2, if you think about it. It even has like a route split where you have 2 different main characters. Someone named Choops has made a video that goes into the maps. I don't think I'm familiar with Choops. Let me look them up. Choops. Of course, now that I want to do that, YouTube's taking forever to load. Choops. Looks like the official Pokemon video game channel is streaming something. Oh, it's just VGC. Oh. It came up in the auto search. They must be a pretty big channel. Almost 40,000 subs, yeah. That's a pretty big channel. It's about 20 times as big as mine. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them, so I can't really say very much about their channel. You say LMAO to Pokemon. I like Pokemon. Let's see. FE8 is basically FE2 reskinned conceptually, says Milton. It would be less of a pain if you had something like Rescue Drop in GBA Fire Emblem. Yeah, if you could Rescue Drop in this game, it would be really cool. The Rescue Staff is useful, but it's also mostly used on footlocked units as well, so it doesn't really solve the problem. By the way, I just remember there's a cool feature I want to try out. I don't know exactly how it works, so give me a minute here, guys. It's a YouTube feature that I have not used before. While I do this, everyone let me know how your day has been. This is your last chance to tell me how your day went. If you have anything you're looking forward to this weekend. I'm searching to see if anyone else is streaming Fire Emblem today. Me. Okay, well, I'm the first result that comes up. That's not a good sign. That probably means I'm the only person streaming Fire Emblem today. There are some other videos, but they're upcoming. I don't know exactly when they're scheduled to start. And they're not from users that I know. Alright. Well, if anybody else was streaming, I was going to try redirecting to their stream, but I guess we're not going to do that today because there's not anybody else streaming Fire Emblem right now. Wee, do you think I would like Choops because his editing skills are godly? Even for people who don't like Fire Emblem, the editing is crazy. Oh, I love channels like that. Channels like that are really good because they can get people interested. Like, you can get people interested in Fire Emblem by, like, if, like, we'll take Choops for example. I'll take your word for it. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll assume he's got really awesome editing and he's got a great channel. So, like, for example, his channel, if his editing is really great, non-Fire Emblem fans will watch his videos, and that will get them interested in Fire Emblem. My videos are, I mean, I don't think I'm that good at editing. I'm very slow, and the quality of my edits is not, like, it's not on the level of, like, you know, the professional level channels. So the only people who are really going to watch my channel are people who already like Fire Emblem, which is fine. Milton, you were actually looking forward to more Fire Emblem 4 content. I'm going to stream Fire Emblem 4 again. I don't know when, though. Next week is definitely going to be Lunatic Plus, so I can't say for sure. The next Fire Emblem 4 stream might be like on a Wednesday in the future, but I'm planning on streaming Wizardry. So next Fire Emblem 4 stream is probably going to be like 2 weeks from now at the soonest. You noticed after last week's stream that I was playing this game for the first time. Yeah, this is my first playthrough. Weege, you want me to check out Choop's FE4 video? I might check it out after the stream. I need to find something to watch while I eat lunch anyway. By the gods, I've never seen such a ruin. It's as if Genealogy never even existed. Been a while, hasn't it, Seliph? Oh, Lewin. Pardon me, your majesty, King Lewin of Celeste. Just Lewin, Seliph, like I've always been. Celeste is just another Imperial conquest now. That's all it's been since the mess in Valhalla. And meanwhile, here I am, still living a pathetic, shameful life for all to see. At least my mother faced Celeste's demise, and her own, with pride and dignity. But me? Nope, I'm still just an idiot bard. Don't listen to what Oyface says of me, Seliph. Just, please, don't call me a king ever again. My apologies, Lewin. It's fine, don't worry about it. More importantly, looks like you finally got this revolution thing started. There's no place more fitting than Isak to start fighting back against the Empire. Indeed, the courage of Isak's people is matched only by the pain and anger the Empire has inflicted upon them. All we're missing now is for Prince Shannon to return and join the fray himself. He ran off to follow some rumor, didn't he? Rumor has it his birthright as heir to the Isak throne, the holy sword Balmung, is being kept in a shrine in the Yeed Desert. As I understand it, the entire desert region is ruled by an evil priest. I trust Shinan's might, but I cannot help but worry for his safety. Please don't give me another desert map, guys. We just did like 3 desert maps worth of desert mapping condensed into 1 desert map. We don't need another one anytime soon, or ever, for that matter. If anyone can do it, it'll be Shinan. Actually, Selef, I have a favor to ask of you. Oh, if it is within my power, I'll gladly help. What is it? The birds are back, by the way. They're much nicer than listening to people playing loud, horrible music. Julia, could you come over here? See, I found her years ago in Valhalla when she was just a little girl, hurt pretty badly. Since then, I've been looking after her in a hidden little corner of Celeste, at least until we had to get out a while back, as the Empire set about tightening its grip. The thing is, I've got things that need doing over in Leonster, and at this point, she's just slowing me down. Duke Nuka says they like the birds chirping. You know what, honestly, the birds chirping is kind of nice for this setting, because it kind of matches the background, like the drawing of the background behind where the characters are talking. Like you could picture birds actually chirping in this grove. I hate to impose on you, Selef, but I don't have much of a choice. Could I just leave her with your group for a while? I still don't know what happened to her, but it must have been pretty awful. Poor thing. Back when I first found her, she couldn't remember a thing about what happened, and it looks like she still can't. I see. Very well. You can trust me with her, Sluin. However, I must ask that you return for her as soon as possible. She likely won't feel too comfortable in an army of strangers. Deal. I'll probably be back here by the time you're finished freeing Isak. Good luck, Selef. May the gods be with you as well, Luin. I'm interested in this character. Are they going to give us a cutscene with her, or does she just not have any lines? Here we go. Listen, Julia, I know it'll be hard for you without Luin here, but I promise you'll be alright. Until Luin returns, I swear, I'll let no harm come to you. I know I've so much to learn, and as yet, I'm not all that strong. But one day, someday, I know I'll be strong enough to protect us all. Someday, I'll have the strength to defend all of the world's people from the Empire's wrath. Someday, I'll be strong, as my father once was. Selef. What is she? Another caster, maybe? Let's do some talk conversations if we have any. I'm gonna be disappointed. Oh, I already know I'm gonna be disappointed. Lana and Julia. Lana and Julia. Interesting. Yeah, it fits in with the aesthetic here. Let's do a talk conversation here. I'm gonna need some water if I'm gonna do 2 female voices. Julia, right? Hello there. Are you doing okay without Luin? You're Lana. Yes, thank you. I'm fine. You know, Lord Selef's actually really been worrying about you. If there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know, and I'll get right on it. Thank you. Oh, and I've got a little something for you. This is a men's staff. You can use these, right? For me. Thank you, Lana. With this, I know I can help everyone. You're welcome, Julia. Let's give this war our all together! Nice, free men's staff. Is that it? No more talk conversations. We finished liberating the castle. We're past the 2-hour mark. I used to, by the way, for anybody who remembers this, if anybody who's been following my channel for like 2 years, I used to limit my streams. I used to only stream between like 1 to 2 hours every stream. So this used to be like a normal length stream for me. Now I typically stream a bit longer, so 2 hours is kind of a short stream for me. But I think we did pretty good. I think we made good progress. I don't want to push it too far. I would rather go get some lunch and then come back and be ready to stream tomorrow. I have an awesome idea for a stream tomorrow. I'm really excited about it, and so look forward to that. The Uwasawa manga coming up with Julia and Selef. I'm not sure what that is. It's a adaptation of Genealogy of the Holy War by Mitsuki Uesawa. Cool. I don't know if I'm going to read any of the manga or any of the extra materials. If I do, it's not going to be anytime soon, though. But maybe I'll do it. Could be fun to do in the future. Let's see. Thank you, Mirror Fanboy, for stopping by today. Thanks to Aether for stopping by. Thank you, X, for being here today. Thank you, Duke Nuka, for chatting for pretty much the entire stream, and Milton as well. Thank you for being very chatty today. I love when new chatty people show up, or just chatty people in general, because otherwise I spend the entire stream talking to myself, and it's very sad and not very entertaining. Well, maybe it's actually very entertaining. Thanks to Anfaresi for stopping by. Thanks to all the lurkers. Thanks for everybody who left a like on the stream. Thank you, Wings of Light, for stopping by as well. Thank you to Gopher for stopping by. I actually missed your comment earlier. I'm very sorry about that. Thank you, Spring, for stopping by. Let's see. Anyone else? Thank you, Stott, for stopping by earlier and helping me out with some information. Spring as well. I think I just said Spring, but I'm going to say it again anyway. Let's see. I know there was somebody else. I know there's more people. Where are you? I will find you, and I will give you a shout-out. I have a very specific set of skills. One of them is finding usernames in chat and giving them shoutouts. Draconis, thank you for stopping by. Draconis, thank you for being here today. Much appreciated. And Leon Hearted as well. Or Lion Hearted. It's probably Lion Hearted, but I'm used to saying Leon from reading Umineko. The character in Umineko named Leon Ushiromiya. So I got used to saying Leon. Now every time I see the word lion, I always say Leon. It's because it's the katakana pronunciation of Rion, which is Leon. It's not lion. Let's see. I think that's everything. Thank you everyone for coming to the stream today. All of the Arvis haters are absolutely blessed. I highly recommend that you get something healthy to eat today. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day.